there are some races that rise above the others. The Daytona 500, the Coca-Cola 600, and of course, this weekend's race in Indianapolis Motor Speedway, the Brickyard 400. Juan Pablo Montoya started on the pole, would hold his position most of the day here, passing Jimmy Johnson for the lead. He led 86 laps this afternoon, but after a debris caution with 23 to go, the 42 team takes 4 tires instead of 2, giving up the lead for the first time. They'd come out 7th, then shortly later, Montoya trying to push it, gets loose and ends up in the wall. Puts an end to another strong run at Indianapolis Motor Speedway for him. Also collected Dale Earnhardt Jr. in that one. The beneficiary, though, was his teammate, Jamie McMurray, who follows up his Daytona 500 win with a Brickyard 400 trophy, giving his owner, Chip Ganassi, the rare triple after winning the Indy 500 in May as well. NASCAR leaves behind the Brickyard and heads to the mountains to race at Pocono on Sunday. This will be the Sprint Cup Series' second trip to the Triangle track. Jamie McMurray riding high after his big win in Indy, and now he will try to take that momentum to a track he's had some good memories at, including 2 top 10 finishes. He will welcome a new sponsor this week in Axe Twist and will feature a color-changing hood that adjusts depending on temperature. The key for the #1 team staying focused after accomplishing such a huge feat last weekend. We talked about the offense last night. Tonight we talk about the defense, and maybe this is where a lot of the holes are for this Panthers team going into the season.
Yeah, have you carved out enough show for me to talk about all the holes on the Panthers defense?
What made it click for you this year that, 13 to 17 cuts, that's pretty consistent?
Yeah, and it's just been little stuff. I brought my best friend, actually started helping me with my golf swing a little bit. That's my swing coach is my best friend. So, and having him involved and just helped me to keep stuff, in check.
Zhang leads by 4 strokes. She is at 12 under par.
Looks like a lovely day at Royal Birkdale.
Yeah, they're not dealing with triple-digit temperatures.
Neither are we. Today it was a little cooler.
It was nice.
It was all right. I could get used to that. Let's get some fall football going.
It'd be great if the training camps can keep that same weather, but I got a feeling it'll crank right back
up. Not so much.
So, all right, we are out of time. He's Tim. I'm Ryan. Thanks for the company.
Good night. Training camp in Spartanburg is all about the essentials. There's the rookie perspective on what you need.
Obviously my toothbrush. I couldn't leave that.
And then there's the veterans who rent flat screen TVs to outfit their dorm rooms. This Panthers team has fewer of those than years past. The hope is this youth-filled squad finds an identity in the coming weeks.
It's like any other thing. We're all family here. Once we don't have 1 or 2, somebody else has to step up, and the biggest thing is that we all come together and play hard every down.
In the past years when we had the older teams, the older guys had a lot of guys to look up to, and I still have a lot of guys to look up to now, but at the same time I feel like I'm one of the older guys. It's only my 3rd year. We got a lot of young guys coming and competing, and there's still that competitive mentality. I'm sure we know what we're doing. There's going to be a lot more focus because you don't have the vets that have been here for so many years, that have played the game for so many years, but at the same time we're all just to stay focused and just compete and take care of what we need to do.
On a day when the media swarmed Jimmy Clausen after his deal was done, Matt Moore confidently entered his first NFL training camp as the starter, still learning how to be a leader in this locker room.
Am I going to try and be, more that guy and take on that role? Absolutely. What does that entail? I don't know. You know what I mean? So just want to be, I want to be doing the right thing at all times and be where I'm supposed to be and make plays and, stuff like that will take care of itself.
There's nothing different about him. He just moved up on the depth chart, and he's worked his way up there, and he took advantage of the opportunities that were presented to him. There's some stories right now. There's some guys sitting at home right now that have not taken advantage of the opportunities they were given. So he did, he's shown it, and I think he's excited about moving forward and being being the guy.
Steve Smith reported at training camp without a cast or a brace on his left arm, but says it could still be 2 to 4 weeks before he's ready to play. Meanwhile, his teammates will hit the practice field Thursday morning for the first of 21 days of training camp. At Wofford College, Tim Bear, News 14, Carolina.
News 14 Carolina's Tim Bear has more.
Day 1 of training camp serves as a wake-up for players all across the NFL. For the rookies, well, they find out what it's all about. But for the veterans, well, they realize those off-season workouts weren't nearly tough enough. Now, day one last year for the Panthers, well, it didn't start off so well. Mayaki Kimawatu had that season-ending injury. It wasn't the case this time, but Jamal Williams, Charles Johnson, and a number of others spent time in the trainer's tent. Learning this playbook is one thing, but staying healthy throughout the camp is goal number one.
It's always a key, you know, whether it's training camp, preseason games, regular season games. You know, it's a physical game and it's a contact game that sometimes, you know, doesn't bode well for the body. So, you know, hopefully we can stay healthy. You know, that'd be true with any team in the league.
I like where we're at. There's not a lot of eyes on us nationally, and I think that's good with the young team we have. There's not a lot of extra attention, and I think we can use that to our advantage.
I see nothing but big things. You know, I think this team, yeah, we're young. A lot of guys that people don't know, and that's fine. You know, national publicity is not why we play. So, you know, we've had a great meeting last night. Coach Fox made a lot of great points, and I think really hit home with a lot of guys, and especially young guys.
John Beeson got his first taste of outside linebacker on Thursday. The shift will put third-year guy Dan Connor in the middle for both players. There's an adjustment being made.
I mean, the middle is going to be, it's more muddy is how I was describing it earlier. I mean, there's guards and centers are coming off on you every play. You know, you're not going to get a clean run. You got to come off a block and make a tackle. So, you know, it's good to have a little size because you're going against 300-pounders, 350-pounders. So, you know, a little weight in your pants helps.
I don't know if I'd say it's muddy. I think, you know, obviously when you're at the wheel, you just work on one side of the ball. When you're the mic, you know, based on what happened, you can start on one side. You know, now you have to play a different coverage coming back. So there's more of a demand when you play the mic, for sure.
After the final horn sounded, Jordan Gross clapped his hands together. It said 25 more to go. So the countdown begins. In Spartanburg, South Carolina, Tim Bear, News 14, Carolina.